After a busy day going to a recent car show, I took my little red Corvette home, cleaned it up, and stored it away. Let's talk about storing it. Hey, hello, all you wonderful sports car fans out there. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I am Burke. You're watching Road Odyssey. Please subscribe down below if you like all the content that I do. I appreciate that very, very much. Now, today's topic is car covers. And believe it or not, that's my C8 back there. So, yeah, it's all covered up. And I want to tell you about my experiences so far with car covers. And the car covers that I utilize are all very cheap. They're anywhere from $40 to about $100 that I've used so far. So I want to go over the tarps, well, the car covers that I use, and some tarps, foam, and tying down these car covers when it's really bad weather outside. So let's get into it. Here we go. So I want to review real quick what I have here in your view. So number one, I have multiple Walmart specials, or the Budge car covers. And so they're very inexpensive. And what I do is I get the $40 to $80 Budge covers, and I will use them in multiples. So I will buy one Budge cover that goes underneath and maybe a second one or something like it to go over the top of that to give added protection. And as in this one right here, this cover I always use on the very top of my wife's car. It is the top one that gets dirty. And if her car is dirty and I need to protect it because there's a storm coming in real quick that I didn't expect, this cover can go on her car. Now, this other cover right here, this is her bottom layer car cover. And other than this ant playing on it, so this cover stays clean at all times. So that's what these two are for. I multi-layer my car covers. All right, let me get into another point of view for this, and that is when it's really bad weather, you think it's going to be hailing, or you could have sticks, limbs falling on your car. Nothing huge, of course, but if you feel like you need some padding, what I do is I'll have the very nice car cover on the car, layer one. Layer two, I will have something like a sleeping bag or some of this foam that's in the back here. I'll show you that in a second. But that will be my second layer. And then I'll get the crappy car cover that's always dirty, and I'll put that over the top. So I usually do 3 layers of car covers on the cars for really bad weather. Okay, so now about the foam, you can go to Walmart and you can get, your bedding foam. That's what this is right here. So you can get something like this, and it's cheap, it's easy, and it's big. So if you think you need that as that middle layer to go over the first car cover and then put the second car cover over the top of this, that would be fine. That would give you a little added protection. You can buy this stuff at, say, like a Joann's or a craft type store, Hobby Lobby, where they sell a lot of fabric, because people that do upholstery of whatever type, they go to these stores as one of their locations to buy foam. Now, one other thing about this is, depending on what car covers you have, especially that very top one, if it does not shed water, this stuff will get soaked. And when it gets soaked, it can bleed down through that first car cover and onto your car and get it dirty if you are unable to keep this stuff clean like me. But if you think you're going to have hail and any damage to your car, I would rather have a dirty car that's well protected than one that's damaged. So that's why I have this stuff and why I use it. If it's going to be really windy outside, well, I want to tie down the car cover, and that's why I've rope. And I just want you to know, There's a lot of car covers that will have a strap that goes up underneath your car, or they will have ties that go on, each wheel. So you can kind of tie the car cover to each wheel. I've used those. Some of these have that option. And me personally, those things have snapped easily. It doesn't take but a few good gusts of wind or a few occasions and some time, over time using these things, they deteriorate enough, or the seams will deteriorate enough that those straps, they're useless. And so I don't even bother with them anymore. If you know how to tie a knot, rope is better. Now, you're going to want to be careful using a rope, because when you cinch it down, you could scuff your car a little bit. Maybe. It depends on how good your car cover is. All of mine are pretty decent, and I have never once scuffed my car, even with the cheap car covers. So anyway, just be careful, think about it, and you don't have to really honker down on the car. All you're trying to do is just hold the car cover to the car when it's windy. Okay, I've cleaned off the C8 Corvette so that I only have these 3 tarps and car covers. And first off, let me tell you why I've got 3 layers on this. In my area, or where I live, I'm kind of out in a rural area close to the Red River, and there's a lot of bugs and debris, cats, things like that I've had experience getting on my cars while out here in the garage. And so I want to have pretty decent protection. So I've got 3 layers. This very top layer is just one of your standard $5 to $10 blue tarps. And it really captures a lot of dirt. And then the layer below that sheds off some of the water. It's semi-permeable. And then the layer underneath that is my clean cover. It's just a regular budge cover. So with those 3 on the car, I have a greater guarantee that if a cat gets trapped in here or finds its way in, or the mud daubers and all of that, it's going to take a lot of effort to mess up 3 coverings on my car. And I'm not really going overboard on this. I really have had plenty of experiences out here in this rural area with stuff happening to my cars. The little silver Corvette that I had, the 2005, scratch marks all down it from cats. And then all the junk that gets on the car covers, the debris, just stuff falling off the ceiling. It's dirty. So I just want, a multiple layers. So that's why there's all this. I want to show you real quick, the car's only been out here in the garage, cleaned up and covered for 2 days at the most. Let me show you some of the debris that is already on this blue tarp and on the silver second layer. This is some of the dirt that I just noticed a little while ago, and why did I keep the blue tarp over all the other tarps. So just dirt all through there. Here's a little bit here that's gotten on the silver car cover. And to add to all this good fun, apparently a bird got in. Okay, knot tying. Now, there's always your little granny knot, right? Let me show you really quick how to tie a figure 8. So, you want to get a loop like this, okay? You're going to come around. So, do you see how you're beginning to get a figure 8 here? When you come around, see that? When it comes through. So, see if you can see this. All right, can you see that? It kind of looks like a pretzel. All right, can you see that? No big deal. Now, when I tighten this up, there is your figure 8, a little bit. All right, so can you see that okay? Figure 8. That's what I use. So let's tie the figure 8 around this spoke of the C8. Going to go in and around. Going to come up and around. You probably can't see that real well, but see it, it looks like a figure 8, right? Take this end and bring it back up through here and just cinch it up. Go this way a little bit. There you go. And see, you can actually see the figure 8 right there. Now, if you feel like you need a safety knot, you can just come back and tie you a quick granny. And that is on there. I can promise you this thing's not going anywhere. And the reason why you use figure 8 knots, they are extremely easy to untie. The second knot that I use when I am cinching down the car covers is a simple granny knot. Nothing fancy, just a regular knot. So I double up the rope, okay? I double it up, come on through, and that's really all there is to it. And because the rope is doubled, it's really not going to go anywhere. So it stays very, very well. So nothing wrong with that. Of tying down the car, I'm starting at the front corner, going to the opposite front corner, tying it down, just a granny knot there, making my way, crossing to the opposite side because I'm going to make a big X. So going to that other rear side, tied it down, crossed to the other rear side, so that when I come back to the front, I will have a big X over the top of the car. And that's it. And as you can see, here again, just a regular granny knot. But I double up the rope. Doubling up the rope makes the knots very easy to untie. Now, if you want to do a little bit more, what I often do is I'll take this little bit of extra rope and I'll go right across the front so that the front end does not flap up. So if the front of the car is pointing into the wind and the storm, tie that little bit down there. Otherwise, if it's in reverse and the back end of the car is going to take the brunt of all the wind, then just take the little bit of extra rope and go around the back end of the car. Very easy to do. And actually, at that rate, if you're going to tie down the very back end of the car, going right across the back of it, I would suggest starting on maybe that corner or the other corner. Start in the back. Play with it. I would say also, be prepared for this. Practice it at least once or twice minimum so that you have your pattern and how you want to do it, and you can tell if this is the ideal setup for you or not. Also, when I tie these little dog ears, I often tie them twice. I'll do one, and then I'll come around doing this one-handed, but I'll do, 2 knots oftentimes. And when you tie these, you can cinch down the rope that you just came from. So get a little bit of experience doing this and it will go far. Well, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And you know what? If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And, give comments. Tell me things that you think about car covers. Now, I am not very good, quite honestly, about reading comments. I have an extremely busy life. As all this lumber can tell you, I am constantly working on my yard, on the house, and just trying to provide y'all with various content. It takes a ton of my time. So anyway, I guess with that, just relax. Take it easy, like I tried to, and I'll see you later. Bye.